my neighbors! Hey, fuck you! Yes! Yes! Fuck you too!
Hello, everyone.
What up, everybody? Good morning. The DEI hires are ready. Let's go.
And Mr. President, just for the record, the friendly amendment is item 13, and that
right
is
there?
amending the Housing and Homelessness
You
Committee
interrupted
report.
me.
So recommendation
I'm
number
the head
2
DEI
is to
hire.
direct
You're not
CLA
supposed to.
with the input of Housing Department to report to Council within 30 days instead of 90. Correct, sir? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Morning,
Right on.
everybody.
All right, that's been made and seconded by Councilmember Yaroslavsky, who's the maker of the motion, accepts it as friendly. Any other specials, members? All right. Before we go to our votes, I want to call on Council District 5.
He's glistening.
We
sucked a
members,
dick earlier.
we committed some time ago to having a platform for residents of our city, business owners,
Shut up.
organization leaders, to be able to share with us what's happening on the ground
Oi!
in our city with regard to the
about that
so-called
race!
immigration enforcement
Oi!
actions from the federal government. And so this morning, I'm very happy that CD5 has organized a good discussion for us that we will begin at this moment. Councilmember Yaroslavsky.
Come on.
Thank you,
Let
Council
the
President.
crying begin.
Good morning, everyone.
Let's get it on.
Over the past few weeks, we've all been deeply moved, or months rather, deeply moved by testimony from immigrant rights groups
Who's
like
Katie
Turla,
Porter? She's hot. I'll
Kadesen,
bang
and
her
the
out.
ACLU about the impact of the Trump administration's
She's ugly, I won't.
unconstitutional ICE raids across our city and our region. Today, we're going to hear from faith leaders about how these raids have affected their congregations and the work they're doing
Oh, the faith
as
leaders
part of a
too.
broader interfaith coalition to support immigrant communities.
The little dick
during
touchers.
this extraordinary.
Aw, you didn't get to
extraordinarily
touch as many
difficult time.
penises as you wanted.
One of the most meaningful things to emerge from this horrific moment is seeing the strength of our city reflected in how faith communities
Not as many
come
kids
together
coming
to
in.
protect and uplift one
Aw.
another. The most ancient teachings of all of our cultures and religions are to welcome and honor the stranger and to treat them with justice and compassion. So I'm really honored today to welcome our guests, the esteemed men and women who carry on that sacred tradition each and every day across our city. I also want to thank Janet Hirsch and 1LA IAF for helping to organize today's presentation. With that, I'd like to introduce 1LA's lead organizer, Robert Hu, to make a few remarks. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, Council President, City Council. We are honored to speak before you to testify to the impact of the immigration raids on the faith community in Los Angeles. I'm Robert Hu, the lead organizer of 1LA IAF.
Maybe they shouldn't have came,
1LA
Robert.
is a network of faith and community-based organizations
Or maybe you
across
should have
Los
just took
Angeles
them in and
committed to building
taken all your
power
money
for
and gave it to
social
them.
and economic justice.
You didn't
Through
do that
leadership
either,
development,
Robert.
Organizing and advocacy, 1LA empowers individuals and communities to create lasting change. We are part of the Industrial Areas Foundation organizing tradition, which goes back to Saul Alinsky in Chicago in 1940, a period when war raged in Europe, fascism was on the rise at home and abroad, and there was a real question about whether democracy would survive. And some would say that was a time not unlike our own. The onset of this latest phase of immigration raids in Los Angeles.
Yet your fucking grandparents are turning over in their graves because you're over here licking the cock of the people that put them and imprisoned them in their internment camps. But you're over here with your little fucking earring in and all that stuff, sucking up to the homo Democrats. Got it.
On June 6th, and the ensuing deployment of the National Guard and U.S. Marines have terrorized families and communities across Southern California. Every day brings news stories of people who've been grabbed off the street, whisked away in vans, and transported to whereabouts unknown. A few of these stories appear in mainstream media, others are posted on social media, and many are only shared in person-to-person accounts. And so we are honored to be invited to share just a few of these stories of people who have been impacted by the raids in our community. And we applaud the City Council for your leadership in documenting these stories. Thank you to Councilmember Yaroslavsky for inviting us.
Let the crime begin.
Immigrants need a forum for their stories and voices to be heard. The City of Los Angeles needs a forum to exercise its local powers guaranteed under our system of federalism and to protect the constitutional rights of all Angelenos. And community institutions need a way to stand together and live out their missions. Official public hearings such as these can provide justice, public accountability, and prophetic expression.
Where in the
for Los
Constitution does it
Angeles.
say that it's okay for
During
you
the
and your
civil rights
pals to
movement
invade
and
our
other moments
country?
in our nation's
Show me
history,
where it says that
was
in the
federal
Constitution,
government
buddy.
that stepped in to ensure that the constitutional and civil rights of its citizens were not violated by state and local governments. Unfortunately, we are in a situation where it appears
Show me
that
where
that
we're
has been reversed.
allowed to be
It is
invaded.
the federal government and its agents who are accused of violating people's civil and constitutional rights, and it falls upon state and local governments, such as the city of Los Angeles, to respond.
And you notice how they cry constantly, but I also want to make really, really clear. I want you also to understand really clearly that you notice how they never stop during this crying of, oh, the poor, poor immigrants. They never stop to thank you Americans for doling out all your tax money to help pay for those people who can't pay for themselves because they have zero skill. He never stops to say, you know what, thank you to the ones who pay for the people that are here now. You never hear that. Ever.
Angeles did not ask to be targeted.
You're fucking
in these
welcome,
ice raids,
Robert. And
but we
so
have
are
been
they.
targeted.
You're
And
welcome.
so it is our responsibility and our obligation to respond, and it is imperative that we document these stories of the men, women, and children
Document that,
who have been
Robert.
impacted and respond to the challenges so that our constitutional and civil and human rights do not perish.
Fucking
I'm honored
shill.
to be joined by my colleagues, Father Joey Evangelista, who is a priest at Precious Blood Catholic Church in MacArthur Park, CD1, as well as St. Kevin Catholic Church in Koreatown, CD10, along with Rabbi Dara Frimmer from Temple Isaiah in Rancho Park, CD5, and Sheila Thomas, a longtime parishioner and lay leader
I'm sure,
at Holy Name of
Lily.
Jesus Catholic Church in
He's
Jefferson
on
Park
point, Mark
in
guy.
CD10.
He knows
They
what's
will
going
share
on.
the stories of how our community has been impacted and how we are responding through our One LA Freedom School strategy. LA is a city of some 4 million people. We have all been affected by the immigration raids.
Who's Robert,
and these
this
are just
moron
a
who's
few
speaking?
of our stories.
The Chinese
Father
shill,
Joey.
wherever the fuck he's from.
Good morning, everyone.
The little commie shill.
I'm
That's
the associate
Robert, the
pastor
commie shill.
of the twin parishes of Precious Blood in St. Kevin, as Robert had mentioned. On average, the parishioners of these two parishes would be 50 to 60% Hispanic, and 40 to 50% being Asians, a mixture of Filipino, Korean, and Indonesian, with the Filipino being the larger part. Mass attendance has gone down from 40 to 50% in the two
I know
parishes.
so many
since
Filipinos
the
that
ICE
got
raids
swept up in
began.
the raids.
There is also a plan to do religion education classes online because of this, but parents decided to continue the RE classes in person. However, attendance has
Mabuhay.
gone down by 10%. For those who come to Sunday Mass, many children come unaccompanied by their parents because
Great.
of fear
Just-
of being picked
yeah,
up
just let
by
your kids
ICE.
come all by themselves.
The Cardinal McIntyre Fund.
I'm sure you like it
allocation
though,
for
bro.
one of
The kids are there
parishes
by themselves.
of
I'm sure you love it.
$5,000 has been depleted, helping the immigration lawyer fees of our parishioners. In one of the parishes, the parishioners have decided to close the gates of the church 15 minutes into the Mass on Sundays to prevent ICE agents from entering.
Isn't that a
if they
fire
raid
hazard?
The church.
Locking people
during
into
the
a
Mass.
church while they worship?
One
I'm,
of our
I'm
parish-
pretty sure that's a
one of
fire
the
hazard.
parish has 3 parishioners who have been detained by ICE that we know of. 2 parishioners were picked up by ICE in their place of work in June 2025. One in the Fashion District in downtown LA.
One
and the
here,
other at a
one
factory
there.
in Huntington
4
Huntington
total.
Park.
Oh my
The
God.
3rd parishioner was picked up by ICE at a Home Depot in August. Out of the 3 parishioners detained, one of them was able to post bail,
3.
but is not allowed to work. He is routinely
3.
checked by ICE through a phone app. When he was first released, he was monitored through an ankle monitor, which was later replaced by the phone app. His next court hearing is scheduled for 2028.
buddy.
Smoke.
But immigration officers told him that he can still be detained
course
if
it
he
is,
is
Olaf.
caught by ICE outside his house. And this
Look,
is
this is just all crying and posturing. This is all, this is all bullshit. They just signed an ordinance today. Old stupid Gavin and the rest of these fucking knee-bending DEI clowns signed an ordinance saying that if you're impacted by an immigration raid, we'll come and pay your rent for you.
why he no longer
Look it up.
leaves the
Just
house.
today.
His wife has not left the house since June. He has 4 children, the youngest
Well, you shouldn't
being
have come
8
here
years old,
illegally.
and the other 3
What's the
in their
question? What are we
20s.
talking about here?
2 of the older children are employed.
Wah! Don't come
One of the
illegally. I
detained
don't care where
parishioner
you're
is a
from.
mother of a 6-year-old.
Wah! I don't
She
go
is
to the
still in
Philippines
Adelaide.
illegally. I go
Her
through
court
their
hearing was
checkpoint,
moved to
don't I?
December due to an illness. The husband claims that the wife had
I know
fallen
you're so
seriously
fucking
ill
special.
while in
Got it.
detention, but
Got
was
it.
not attended to immediately by detention officials. Only the husband is looking after the daughter. The husband is only able to work 3 days a week.
What a sob story.
The
Say
third
it so-
parishioner has 2
in that
sons
somber
in their
voice
20s.
of yours. Really hits home.
He is still in detention in Adelanto. News from a friend yesterday said that there may be a possibility of being able to post bail this week. In both parishes, we have 2 parishioners who had opted to self-deport for fear of being taken
Thank you.
violently by ICE agents. Several parishioners who are legally here no longer go out
And
with
look,
family
just to
as
show you, this has
frequently
been going
as
back
they
for a
used to
while now.
because they are either Hispanic or Filipino. On a personal note, as a missionary, I served in the Congo, in Mozambique, and Africa, and in various parts of the Philippines. In these locations, I worked primarily with the poor and indigenous communities, a role that frequently brought me into contact
One
with
day
uniformed
ago.
personnel like soldiers
One day
and
ago.
police officers.
The
While
county
these encounters
and the
were-
city,
were
both.
mostly confrontational, they were nonviolent.
LA
And I
taxpayers will pay
consistently
$32
spoke
million.
out on behalf of the poor and indigenous
All the
peoples.
money we paid for
These
it.
experiences have left such a deep mark on me
We're
that the
paying
first
for it.
emotion I now feel upon encountering uniformed personnel
Wah.
is fear,
Fucking wah.
immediately followed by the urge to flee. I slowly began to manage this
See,
fear
I should
after
invade
arriving
fucking
in
the
California
Philippines.
in February
See how much you
2024
like it.
last
See if I don't
year.
go get
In
thrown
time,
into
I
a
grew used to
Filipino
seeing
jail
the
in 2
LAPD
minutes.
around our neighborhood, for example, and even
Fucking
had
hypocrite.
friendly conversations with them when the parishes requested assistance. That
How come
initial
Americans
fear,
don't go
however,
fleeing
immediately
everywhere and asking for
returned
everything? How
when
come?
the raids
How come?
began. In June,
How come there's
parishioners
no
told me
MAGA
that ICE
beggars? Where are the
agents were
fucking
just
MAGA
2 blocks
beggars
away from our
coming in here
parish,
with their MAGA
which was
hats,
the reason
begging for money?
local
Where are they?
Restaurants had closed even before noon.
Where the fuck are
I
they
went
at?
for a
Where
walk
are
in
those
that direction
beggars?
to see for myself. Seeing the masked, uniformed men with their guns from a distance, I froze and was
Of course
afraid
they don't
to
play
go
Satan. They'd
any
throw me in
further.
jail in 2 minutes.
The
And you know that,
realization
I know
struck
that.
me was that I am not white, and based on everything being reported in the news, it seemed that even my Roman collar would not be of any help. Despite finding it uncomfortable, I have been wearing the collar more often each time I go out. I have convinced myself that it can provide a level of protection for a foreigner like me, however flimsy it may be. I volunteered twice with CLU, Clergy and Laity United for Economic Justice, to observe immigration court hearings at the federal building. During one of those visits, I saw a man arrested by 4 or 5 ICE agents, twice his size, as he stepped out of the courtroom. I could not believe
point,
what I
Fubar.
was seeing. The
It's
man's
just
only
funny how
fault
they never
was
say that,
wanting a better life for himself.
Nobody
and his
highlights
family.
that.
I looked on helplessly, struggling to make sense of the
Funny.
scene unfolding before my
true, man.
eyes in the land of the brave and the free.
You notice how they
I
never
I
highlight
still
that,
cannot
man.
believe that the country which was one, which
It's those
once championed
hard-working
human
MAGA
rights
folks that
abroad
pay for this
is
guy
now
to stay in this
violating those
country.
rights domestically.
And do whatever the
whole
fuck he
situation
thinks he
feels
does.
dystopian. I sometimes jokingly say that it's beginning to feel like the
He
Philippines.
should be sponsored by Kleenex.
I sincerely hope no officials from the Philippine consulate are present here, or that the word of this comment doesn't reach them, or I might be hearing from them. But since it's on YouTube, I think they'll get wind of it anyhow. I could eventually get used to this. This is, after all, not new to me. But last I checked, this is the United States of America. This should not be happening.
Thanks for telling us where it is and where we are.
So
we
one
know
of
where
the
we are.
many
We know
roles
we're not in
of
the
a rabbi
Philippines.
is to tell the story of our people, and I am going to share several of those stories on behalf of One LA.
Y'all should be walking around with your fucking hat in your hand and saying, yes, and thank you, sir and ma'am. Thank you, Americans. Thank you. I don't ever hear none of that.
A total of 37 Spanish
Here's your
language
fucking
religious
handout. You
services,
crying
which
and
were
complaining
attended
wherever you're
by
from.
over 10,000 parishioners on
Fuck.
average.
Beggars.
Since the June 2025 immigration
Beggars.
rate in Los Angeles, these
What
institutions
you all are,
have
beggars.
seen a 30 to 40% decline of their mass attendance and participation. And in addition to Spanish, our institutions also celebrate religious services in Vietnamese, Tagalong, and Korean. In downtown Los Angeles,
Tagalong,
the
isn't it?
following stories
Tagalog?
have been shared with us. A One LA IAF member institution ministers to thousands of weekly parishioners. They host 7 masses every Sunday, all of which are in Spanish. Their parishioners are primarily Latino, many of whom are immigrants from Latin America. Known as a key institution for immigrants in Los Angeles, they have seen a visible change in attendance and participation in weekly masses. Since the raids began, they have seen a 30 to 40% drop
I'm on
in attendance
counterculture,
each
by the
week.
way.
In the Roman
Good
Catholic
stuff.
tradition, the rite of baptism is the sacrament that incorporates a person into the
It
community
is, Adam,
of
you're
faith.
right.
According to religious teaching,
You're
it is
right.
done in front of parents, godparents, extended family, and the larger church community. The church in downtown
This is the
LA
death spiral,
normally
Adam.
celebrates 300 baptisms each week, bringing in large groups of families from across the city, county, and state. This church has seen a 30% decline in weekly baptisms since the onset of the immigration raids in June.
It did rain
And
this
the
morning, so I
baptisms
don't know. Maybe
that are still being
she's
performed
still wet.
have seen a
What's up,
substantial
Ian?
drop in
What's up, bro?
attendance, over 50%. These celebrations, which would usually fill up
No,
all
they
the
did
pews
not.
with relatives and church
been
members, have now
playing
seen a
hooky.
dramatic drop in attendance, with only the first few
thought she was
pews
with
of
you,
the church
Ian.
filled during the service. They have reported that a sacramental service, which typically would bring in a whole family to worship, now has only the parents and godparents attending. Families have canceled scheduled baptisms to wait and see if it
They
becomes
do,
safe enough
Colonel.
to
I know a
attend
lot of great
church
American
amidst the ongoing
Filipinos.
raids.
And they don't
The
beg either.
cancellation
They're not
of
over here
baptisms and
begging
the
like
drop
this
in
guy
attendance
is.
for weekly services have contributed to a significant loss
They're busy
of
working so this guy
financial
can stay
support
here.
to the church. Baptisms are the largest source of income for this church. Religious education coordinators have reported an increase in anxiety and fear amongst their students directly related to the increase in immigration raids. Students have shared they are afraid of their parents being deported, while some making plans to drop out of school in case they need to become the primary caregivers for their younger siblings.
No more
Religious
Palestinian
coordinators
science
have had
class?
to
Oh, you
utilize
have to
religious
work for their
instruction
living
time
now.
to instead host workshops on family preparation plans for families with undocumented parents instead of time to study scripture. That is in the religious realm. And as we all know, in the secular world of education, enrollment
kidding,
is
JD.
significantly down in LAUSD.
a base.
Our parishioners and congregants tell us that their schools are declined by as much as 30%, with north of the 10 freeway being identified as such a
Fucking
particular
base.
area. A congregant recently told me that at a staff training, the UTLA rep mentioned
Wes.
that families are scared that ICE is in disguise at their children's bus stops, and they are wary of unfamiliar faces in the neighborhood. As we know, many teachers and principals have gotten training on what to do if ICE comes to their school. And these efforts to help and pay attention, setting up a rep at each school to address
If ICE
these
comes-
issues, both confirms
Again, I've heard a whole lot about ICE going to schools. I've asked you guys time and time again, usually over 1,000 in the room. Show me one video of ICE at a school. On school grounds, I want to see it. In front of the school even. Let me see it. I'm surprised not one of you have sent one since there's so many school raids. They can't even go to graduations, remember that?
the greatest fears of parents and of their students, even as they
Ay,
lean into
pobrecito.
help. But it continually says to all families involved, truly there is no longer a safe space for you. At a graduation in June, a congregant mentioned that the teachers regretted not live streaming the graduation because many Latino families did not show up because they heard that ICE was patrolling the neighborhood
They
and the surrounding
heard.
areas that day. Larger LAUSD schools, which had overflow spaces for graduation, barely filled half of the first hall to begin with.
Sure, babe.
As
Sure,
we know,
man.
teachers are not only educators, they are the pastoral presence for their families.
Salty 5-0, thank you.
And they continually hold a sense of powerlessness as they wonder, will we be able to protect our students? And how will we provide extra mental health support
Shout
for
out
our
to you,
students
Salty
who are
5-0.
already
I'm
experiencing
sorry,
trauma
man.
in their
You have to
homes
deal with these
and in
clowns.
their cities and in their neighborhoods
I'm
due
sorry.
to the immigration
On
experience,
their behalf.
exacerbated now by ICE raids and presence, and are
Chris
afraid
Gardner,
to
thank
travel
you.
to school. We know the incredible effort that our teachers and administrators are making, and still all it reminds
you know,
us
Salty,
is that we are not in control.
Salty, you
and we
know
need
and
to
I
find a
know.
way to be.
If they had
In
something
East
happen to them,
Los
they're
Angeles
calling you
County,
fucking
a
first.
1LA
You
member
fucking
institution
better get over there and
hosts a
protect
weekly
them.
worship service that brings
They
in over
hate you.
300 parishioners
But
from
you better
across
get
LA
over there and
County.
protect them.
These worship services are conducted in Spanish,
That
made
is
up
true.
of Latino members, many of whom are immigrants. After reports of ICE raids and operations in nearby areas like El Monte, Downey, and downtown LA, the worship group decided to cancel their weekly meetings, a step that has not been taken since the stay-at-home orders during the COVID-19 pandemic. Once the worship group restarts these services, recently they saw a dramatic drop in attendance from over 300 participants per week to now only 25 people. The church has also reported a drop in assistance from Eucharistic ministers, lectors, and ushers due to fears of immigration enforcement operations, which creates a logistical barrier to performing weekly mass services for hundreds
I see Rob
of
Kwan back
parishioners.
there.
In general,
Laser
we know
Lady.
that 20 to 25% of priests and nuns
thank
here
you,
in
Salty.
Los Angeles
That's why we love you
are
guys.
either on a visa or
Trust
they are
me.
permanent residents,
guys understand.
and they are
You see
afraid
us.
of what may happen to them. In MacArthur Park and Westlake, one LA member institution located in these neighborhoods have seen consistent ICE operations within the boundaries of their parish. The church is primarily attended by
I
immigrants, with
have a
50%
feed,
of the
Keegan,
parishioners
absolutely.
in this church being Latino, the other half Filipino. Parishioners share that the apartment buildings next to the church have been visited by ICE agents on multiple occasions. They have seen ICE operations occur within 1 mile of the church, at bus stops,
1
stores,
mile?
and other public
I mean,
areas.
10 blocks
In
a
July
fucking way.
2025, military presence
10
at MacArthur
fucking blocks
Park
away
sparked
it happened.
Huge fears
It was
amongst
right next to
parishioners
us.
in the area, leading to continued drop in attendance and participation in church services. These churches have faced a 30 to 40% drop in attendance of weekly mass services. Quinceañera cancellations because family members and guests were
Quinceañera?
afraid of attending services, also due
Quinceañera.
to the high volume of
Quinceañera?
ICE sightings. They canceled a neighborhood procession that would have
Quinceañera.
honored the 102nd year of the founding anniversary of the church due to the risk it would pose for parishioners who are afraid of being seen in public. And the cancellation upended a year's worth of planning and altered church fundraising plans. At this church, a longtime member has been arrested and detained during the ICE raids in the Fashion District of Los Angeles. Increased ICE sightings
That's
and
it,
immigration
DMC.
arrests
My
have
cheap
led the
labor is
community
being taken
and
from
the
us.
church to use its
Our
own
slave
funding
labor
to
is
print
gone.
out hundreds of Know Your Rights materials. They continue to emphasize the stress and anxiety caused by the militarized and aggressive raids in the area, which have led to many instances of
Haven't you talked
self-deportation
enough tonight?
amongst longtime and key parishioners. The church hosted private farewell blessings for ministry leaders who had over 20 years of service to the church, but were deciding to self-deport out of fear for immigration raids. These ministry leaders held invaluable roles related to sacramental and financial responsibilities inside of the church. With a drop in attendance, loss of longtime leader parishioners, and a reduction of celebrations, the churches have been harmed financially and administratively. At another congregation, undocumented employees in that organization
look greasy.
who are essential
Lynn.
for making the faith-based community work each and every day have injuries that they are trying to treat on their own because the fear of accessing health care or asking for disability is so great that they worry that it is on the brink of deportation, so they would sooner bear their pain and suffering and continue to ask to be employed than seek the health care they ask for and need. And this faith community in particular is struggling how to live by the values of compassion and care which we afford to all of our members and employees, while still
We
being
still got
able to
one more.
respect
Why'd
the
they let the
rights
black lady
and the
talk
decisions
last?
of our employees, that they want to stay essentially invisible and make their pain invisible and stay employed.
Don't you know
for the
your
sake of
place,
their
white
family.
woman? You're supposed to
Finally,
speak
in
last.
South Los Angeles,
Don't you know
one
your
final
place
congregation
in the
reported
DEI
that with a
ladder?
mix of Black and Latino parishioners, as they held a graduation ceremony for their young adults on the church property, they realized that due to fears of immigration rates throughout the area, the families of the graduates, for all of the community members,
Salty,
felt
thank you for
uneasy
another.
about holding that celebration publicly, even though it was within their church community. And this church has had to increase security measures
Wait,
and
you
organize
got
a more
by
secure
somebody?
perimeter
Somebody
around
shot
the
you
church
in the
and
toe?
events such as these. Last but not least, before I pass it on to Sheila Thomas,
serious?
as Council
That's
Member
crazy.
Yaroslavsky said, the
Someone was all
commandment
peaceful
not
and
to
they
oppress the
pulled the
stranger
gun out.
is mentioned throughout our faith tradition,
Aye.
particularly in the Torah, 36 times. It tells us not to
Ouch.
oppress the stranger.
bet
It
it hurt.
is built into the foundation
got
of
some
how
compensation
God
from the
expects us to
sheriff
build
department.
ethical and holy societies.
hurt at work.
We are judged by how we treat the weakest and most vulnerable, the orphan, the widow, the poor, and yes, the stranger who lives with you and by your side.
stranger
Faith communities
who lives
cannot
with
be
you.
the only ones in this city to struggle and speak out in our effort to build what we call in
She won't
Judaism a
stop talking.
kahila, a kedosha, a holy and sacred community. This responsibility is
Shut your
upon
mouth,
all of us,
essay.
and I want to thank you, council members, for partnering with us as we continue to strive to build our holy and sacred community. I turn it over to Sheila Thomas for our closing
God.
comments.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Jesus Christ, Donnie.
My name is Sheila Thomas. I grew up in South LA.
up,
I am
Tank?
a member of Holy Name of Jesus Catholic Church. We are enriched with Hispanic culture, Belizean culture, and Hispanic
Me
culture.
too, Colonel.
And
Me too.
African and Belizean. We are predominantly Black Catholic Church. We share the pain that everyone that you heard of these stories. We are so used to racial profiling because of through what the
None in
spirit
hers
of
either,
Jim
Golf.
Crow.
Trust.
Growing up in South LA, I knew the pain of my brothers or my father leaving the house driving by being Black and being profiled. So today we stand here in solidarity with all of our sisters and brothers who are suffering the same pain that we did through the Jim Crow laws. which
Who
the
created Jim Crow laws
still
and who
live in
overturned them, ma'am? Please,
So,
quick history
as you
lesson.
heard all the
Tell me who
stories
did
here,
that. Tell me
this
who
is how
did that.
we became with
Who
our-
created them? The people you're fighting for. Who are the one that stopped the Jim Crow laws? The one you hate.
I'm a black man. There's no justice for me here in America. I should be at the front of the line.
Yeah, well, I'm gay and subject to ridicule and discrimination wherever I go.
Women are oppressed throughout the world. Give it a rest.
Fuck. That's all I hear. That's all I fucking hear. Thank you, Mr. Ray.
Freedom Schools.
Shit.
Our Freedom Schools birthed out of our July 4th celebration. Myself, I had never celebrated July the 4th because I didn't believe
you're not
in our
American.
freedom story.
Because you're not American.
But to the effect
you just
of
live
all
here.
of this, One LA launched a countrywide Freedom School strategy at St. Gabriel Mission on July the 4th, 2025.
Always.
Over 200 people attended from across 20 community institutions, schools, churches, congregations, labor unions, and nonprofits. The
Yes,
goal of
facts
One
aren't
LA
important,
Freedom
Ram.
School is to empower
Right.
people by informing and training them to understand and assert their constitutional rights in the face of the ICE raids that are undermining civil liberties and terrorizing families. Standing in solidarity helps us raise awareness and provides hope and courage to act by instilling a sense of agency and civic engagement in the pursuit of human dignity and rights. What is a freedom school?
Scoo? What the fuck's
One
a
LA
scoo?
Freedom Schools are inspired by the freedom schools of the civil rights movement, which were organized beginning in the summer of 1964 to educate and empower communities as a response to civic inequalities. They were designed to cultivate habits of free thinking and ideas of free society works. The decentralized, flexible community-based model that these schools pioneer engage community members based on the barriers impacting them. Exactly what 1LA has done throughout the Los Angeles County since July the 4th with Freedom Schools. A 1LA Freedom School is a localized group of community leaders who will meet consistently over time using a growing and flexible curriculum to the moments in Los Angeles. This is a long-term strategy expected to build and grow through the coming years and throughout this creating
I wanted to say library.
Civic formation.
Just one time.
In the use of the train-the-trainer model to teach community leaders the curriculum so that we can continue to learn, teach others inside the Freedom Schools and community institutions. Current sessions have included Introduction to Freedom Schools, Knowing Your Rights, Family Preparedness, Access to Health Care, Constitutional Law 101, and How to Respond to ICE, which was in the form of creative thinking, skits, role-playing. What are the impacts of Freedom Schools? Since the launch of July the 4th, one has held over 25 Freedom Schools across the Los Angeles County with 1,000 participants at church basements, synagogues, backyards, school classrooms, living rooms, and small community theater. 1LA's Freedom Schools are forming community leaders to engage and preserve democracy. We're overcoming fear and isolation. We're building power. We're reinforcing community institution missions, leadership development. Within the last week, one of our sister parishioners was faced with another ICE raid. Democracy, do we call this democracy? No, because on Friday, October the 10th, Don Jose saw ICE agents swarm a car wash with employees, with agents, masking their faces and lacking forms of identification. They were armed, wore bulletproof vests, military-style clothing, and proceeded to chase most of the employees, all too familiar. Detaining several of them, treating some of them with extreme violence. Don Jose immediately sent out a text to other parishes.
I see Spindler in the background.
Of this ICE age.
Spindler's there for sure.
8 employees at that time were detained. One of the 8 employees was a U.S. citizen, and 2 of them had work permits. But they were detained anyway, shackled, and transported
Dynamic duo
in white, unmarked vans. 1LA Freedom Schools help all of us practice democracy. I would like to invite all of our councilmen here to attend one of 1LA's Freedom Schools. I would like to have Heather Hutt visit Holy Name at a 1LA meeting. I would like to see our president, Marquise Dawson, come to St. Bridget's one day to a 1LA meeting, and all others that are here to come to a 1LA Freedom School. So see you all soon.
Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you.
I'll just briefly close. As Ms. Thomas said, the purpose of Freedom Schools is to cultivate habits of free thinking and ideas of how a free society works. When people are afraid to go to worship, when people are afraid to take their children to school, when people are afraid to go out in public, a free society is at risk. And so we have our Freedom School strategy, which is about civic formation, and we applaud the City Council again for organizing public hearings like this. It reminds us of South Africa's Truth and Reconciliation Commission. We would be happy to partner with the City Council to organize more of these hearings, to partner with other community organizations throughout Los Angeles to document the ongoing rights violations. And we welcome your questions. Thank you.
And Robert, I've got the first question. Robert, how come you weren't here when Obama sent out twice as many people? Answer. Go ahead, Robert.
Thank you so much to all of you. Let's give them another big round of applause.
Come on, Robert. I'm waiting.
For stepping up. Councilmember Yaroslavsky.
Thank you so much to the four of you for being here and for the work you do every day on behalf of your communities. I'd like to invite Councilwoman Hernandez. I believe you wanted to say a few words.
No answer, Robert?
Sheila Thomas's church is in CD1, so we'll start with you.
Thank you.
No
Thank
answer,
you,
huh, Robert?
Yaroslavsky. I believe.
Oh, shit. Look at
Pure,
this.
I live in CD10. Yes. Sheila, right? You're in CD10? Yes. And Father, you're in CD1. And you're 102 years old, right? The church is has been serving Los Angeles. Not you. You look great. No. But your church
Don't
has
get
been
kicked
serving
out. You
the
can
city
hear
for
Spindler.
102 years. So it's seen the waves, right? It's
kicked
seen
out.
the different situations that the city has been in, and
I haven't seen it
just would
lately.
like to thank you all for being here and organizing this.
Thank you, Base.
In partnership with the city. I think it's important that we see how these raids are impacting all sectors of our community, especially one that has been a safe place and a safeguard for our communities all over the world. And so it's critical that communities hear from you all, because they will continue to go to you. Even if I know that parishioners attending different classes and church has gone down, and I can also say that there's some churches in my district where you still see hundreds of people show up, because that is the only place where they feel safe, and they get their batteries refilled to be able to continue.
Maybe because they're not worried, because they're not
I'm just
illegal.
grateful for this opportunity, and is it okay to ask a question or two? Thank you, Councilwoman. Father, what do you say to those who claim to be people of faith while supporting policies that criminalize migration and separate parents from their children?
Well, her nickname is Hamburger Hernandez. I didn't give it to her.
That's a difficult question, because they always get angry at me when I remind them of what Jesus has taught.
Don't tell me what Jesus knew.
The wrath of God will
And I just
strike
keep
you
reminding
down.
them that we are children of God, and we are disciples of Jesus Christ, and we are followers of Jesus and not of our political leaders. And I just ask them to pray and reflect and re-examine themselves, who indeed is their Lord. Is it their political leaders, or is it Jesus? And it's just up to there. It's useless to debate with people, because it's not going to get anywhere. So just remind them to, ask them to pray and reflect.
As much as I love religion and
examine
God,
themselves, who indeed
God and
they
religion
consider
doesn't
God.
pay the bills.
Thank you.
The hardworking
And in
people of
this
the
moment
country
where
do.
It feels like, why is
And
this
they're
happening?
feeling the
Why
burden,
has the universe allowed?
thanks
why
to
is,
the folks you're
why is God
talking about.
allowing this to happen? Can you please share some words for people who are looking for faith, who are looking to lean on their faith at this time? What words can you share to invite people in to the faith community?
Well, what I tell them is, this is not the will of God. This is people hurting each other. And because the relations that we have is not based on God's love. It's
I do agree with
based
you.
on greed
One's
and
creating a
selfishness.
burden while the
And I
other one
always
has to
ask
pay
them,
for
and
the
this
burden.
I just don't
Pay for
I
the
don't
sins
only
of
tell
others.
people, I tell
Right?
myself as well to
They
count your
sin,
blessings
we
and
pay.
look at the little blessings that we have.
Am I wrong?
People volunteering to donate something for the family, for example, whose mother is in Adelanto.
Again, am I going to another country and creating crimes and then enforcing their citizens to pay for me? No. That's a sin, right? Creating crimes, sins, crimes are sins, right? I mean, that's what I thought. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But let's just, you want to break it down into religion, Father. So let's break it down. I'm paying for other sins.
For example, someone who all of a sudden warns people to better hide because ICE agents are nearby. I mean, that's where God is. Don't look for God in the big things, where big ICE raids, but God is in the people trying to help each other in the midst of all these struggles.
Thank you so much, Father. Thank you, Councilwoman.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman. We have a couple more folks on the queue.
course we
Councilmember Nazarian,
Almost 40 minutes?
you're on the queue.
40 minutes of this shit. I'm still not done. Audit LA's in there too, sweet.
Can you please come back to me?
Okay.
So we got at least 5
also have
regulars,
Councilmember
5. I don't see in there.
Thank you,
Any of
Mr.
you guys see in there? I can't see him, but
Thank you, Mr. President, and
he's not on the right side. I see Rob Juan for sure.
Yurslowski, for bringing in our faith leaders that are so well connected to our community. I actually have 2, because you're at St. Kevin's as well, right? Yes, that's right, in CD10. We know that Holy Name and St. Kevin's are havens for people in our community. They're walkable. Folks go to church there comfortably, safely, and they bring their children because they know that they will get, like my colleague said, re-energized and also help. And I want to appreciate you for being a helpmate in this situation to people in the most need, and also a place where folks that are not in jeopardy, but they want to give, for being a repository.
That happens with everything.
Things.
Priests.
It's so important.
Rabbis.
Both your churches, I've been at their 100 years, both of them.
Folks.
And so now you're 102, 103, 102. What is
What Sunday
Holy
school was
Name?
for?
Oh, okay, great. And I just went to that anniversary a couple of weeks ago. And we know that people in the church are celebrating each other and celebrating their community. So I just want to appreciate the hard work you're doing. And I'll get on the calendar so I could come
I don't see Shrimp, JC.
Freedom School. Thank you again.
I haven't seen him in the last 2.
Councilwoman Yurslowski, for
Probably with
bringing in our
Dana,
clergy
probably
leaders
in
and reminding
like
us
Barbados
where
or
love
something.
and where God is.
They're in
Thank you.
Cannes.
Thank you so
For
much.
the film festival.
Councilmember McCosker?
Thank you so much, Councilmember
Dan,
Yaroslavsky, for
Tom,
bringing in these
Dan.
faith leaders. I just want to thank you so much for your testimony
Monaco.
and your witness to a faith tradition.
You don't see
that
Dana
I
in here, do
share.
you?
I'm born and raised as a Roman
Suspicious.
Catholic, and I was raised post-Vatican II in a time when we spent a lot of time talking about Catholic social teaching. And, you know, I've seen the ebb and flow over 60 years of a church going from Vatican II to some segments of the church moving away from Vatican II. And I will say that your witness is an example of what, when I was in college and studying theology,
Good thing.
Catholic theology, we talked about the church of the cathedral and the church of the
cool.
village.
Thank you for letting me know,
Sometimes
Pete.
there was a separation between the two.
Good. More important.
And I think we are living at a time when our Holy Father has been somewhat clear on this issue and probably going to get clearer. And we know that in our churches,
Bro
and
got the
churches in my Roman
simplex
Catholic
going on
churches in
hard. He
my
got one shank
district,
right here. You got
the sentiment
another
that you
shank
described
here.
is the sentiment
Bro, who
of
was you
faith
eating out,
leadership,
bro?
Stewardship.
Who
that
was
the
you eating out,
lay
bro?
leaders and the religious leaders are giving to their community.
You only
So
have
thank you for
one
that.
lip, and the bottom
But I
one's
will
already
also
shanked
point out
up.
that
A big old
when
cold
one
sore.
looks at the pastoral letters of the
Put a
U.S.
mask
Catholic
on.
bishops, there is really no
Shank
separation between
up.
what you're saying and what they are saying. Going back to
He tries to
Strangers
give
No
somebody a
Longer,
kiss, and they're like,
the encyclical or the
outta here with
pastoral
that
letter
thing.
of about 20
Keep
years
that
ago
thing to
was very
yourself.
clear then. And I think it remains
Look at
clear
that
that the
thing.
U.S. Catholic bishops say unequivocally that people have a
over
right
here
to
throwing
thrive
gang
in their
signs
land.
at me.
People have a right to migrate, and while governments have a right to protect their borders, they have an obligation to treat people with dignity and with respect.
Shoot.
And I think the U.S. Catholic bishops have also been very clear and remain clear that enforcement needs to be
It's crazy because his
proportional.
entire
It's an
top
important
lip has
Catholic
disappeared.
social
It's
teaching,
gone.
but proportional
It went into the
to
Sarlacc
the
pit with
value
Boba Fett.
that they're to the
But his
safety
bottom
that they're
lip
trying to
has
provide
lost
for
all
their
its
residents,
color,
balanced
and now
with
it's
the
got a
dignity
cold sore on
that
it.
they owe to every single
Wow.
human being.
It's got like it's like
So,
it's like his facial
this is a
color.
moment,
Your
I
lip
hope,
should be different color
where
than your
for
face,
the billion Catholics on this planet,
but it's not.
that it is very clear
Look at that.
that we
Look
as
at
a
his
country
bottom
are
lip.
acting
Look at the
outside
color
of
of it.
Catholic teaching.
Like you
And
can't
we need to act
distinguish where it
within
ends and where it
Catholic teaching,
starts,
just for the
like
Roman
on his
Catholics.
face. He has no more
But I
lips.
don't see
They're
a
all
separation
disappearing.
between our many faiths.
Just the
So
top
thank you
one's
so much for
completely
being here.
gone. So the bottom one's
Thank you
on
so
its
much,
way out.
members, and thank you,
Soon he'll
Councilmember
have no
Yaroslavsky.
lips.
And thank you to all of you who shared
None.
with us today. I, can't help but give a special shout out to Holy Name Catholic Church there in the community. I remember stories of my family talking about migrating from Louisiana to Los Angeles, and Holy Name being one of the places that they could go, and that people from Louisiana would gather, because it wasn't exactly safe in Los Angeles for folks coming in the 30s and 40s from southern states to escape the racism there for the less subtle or the more subtle racism here. And so it's really
But we're one
heartening to
state
see
that
Holy
never
Name
had
continuing
slaves,
that
Mark
tradition
Weef.
and being part of a community
That's
of
funny.
faith in the entire
So we're supposed to
Los
give
Angeles
reparations and
region,
things too.
Which again,
Considering we
will
never
make
had
Los
slaves in
Angeles the
California.
light, or as a rabbi said, the holy hot spot.
Exactly what I said.
Yes, that's exactly what you said. Making Los Angeles a holy hot spot in this country while we're going through this very, very
Hysterical.
difficult time. So thank you all so much.
Could you imagine
And,
being stuck
with
in
that,
an
if
elevator with
Councilmember
those four?
Yaroslavsky has no more comments,
Holy
we will
shit.
move on to the next section.
I'd have
Councilmember
fun with
Yaroslavsky.
it. I just put my shit up like
You're
this
good?
and
All
just
right.
fart.
Thank you all so much.
Just let out the biggest fart in there.
Madam Clerk, which
Enjoy
items are
that.
available for
Yeah,
us to
you
vote on?
take all that.
Mr.
I'll be in
President,
here.
Council may now vote on items 2 through 12, sir.
All right. Let's open the roll on those items.
All right,
Close
finally
the
they're
roll,
done with the knee
tabulate the
bending
vote.
event. 45 minutes of knee bending.
All right. What's next?
Aye.
Next would be
Aye.
items 23 through
Aye.
26, and those were heard by Budget and Finance Committee.
If we can just catch Councilmember Yaroslavsky for items 23 to 26 before photos.
He looks stoned. He
Budget
probably
and
is.
Finance Committee considered and approved items 23 through 26 in committee on October 7th, and I recommend we approve these items.
All right. If we can read the details into the record.
was, Jack.
and,
We're still
call
very
the roll on
young.
this item.
Yes, sir. Item 23 is in the case entitled
I mean, it feels it when you look at the architecture.
Arakizian versus City of Los Angeles et al. There is a recommendation to expend up to $495,000 in settlement. Item 24, in the case of Joseph Mark Antonio versus City of Los Angeles et al. There's a recommendation to expend up to $125,000 in settlement. For item
625 or
25,
620?
in the case entitled Abir Al-Shumali versus City of Los Angeles et al., there is a recommendation to expend up to $125,000 in settlement. For item
745?
26, in the case entitled Vincent Albano versus City of Los Angeles, there's a recommendation to expend up to $1,789,448.10 plus accrued interest in settlement.
So we'll
sir.
say 2.5 million.
All right.
There's
Those items are now
2.5
before us.
million
Let's
in
open the roll.
settlements right there.
Close
6
the roll,
settlements, I
tabulate
believe
the
it
vote.
was. 2.5 million.
All right. What's next?
So there it is, another 2.5 million
Next,
of our dollars
council may
flushed
go
down the
into
drain
public
thanks to these
comment, sir.
assholes.
All right. We'll go into public comment.
Thanks to
And
the
just for the
DEI
record, I'm going
hire.
to ask everyone when your name is called, please get to the line as quickly as possible. We're going to have 45 minutes of public comment, so that should just take us slightly after
45
40
minutes of knee
after
bending,
11
45 minutes of
a.m.
public talking.
City Attorney, Madam
Sounds
Clerk.
about right.
Yes.
And
To
now
people
we're going to
providing
waste
public
5
comment,
minutes of it, so
when
we'll
it's your
really
turn
only
to
get
speak,
40.
Please state which of the agenda items you'd like to speak to. You will have 1 minute per item, up to 3 minutes total for the items open for public comment. We will tell you when your time is up. When speaking on the agenda items, you must be on topic. Our goal is to get through as
All
many
right, let me
speakers as
fast
we
forward
can.
to this a little bit because, again, remember I paused it a few times, so we'll get right up to it.
Your time while the interpreters are interpreting, so you will get the same amount of time as everyone.
Está hablando, entonces recibirán la misma cantidad
There
de
we
tiempo que las otras personas. Gracias.
And one final announcement, in order to help us accommodate as many people as possible, we would ask that you please wait until you hear your name
Jeez,
called
still another
aloud
minute wasted.
before lining up to speak. So after you hear your name called aloud, you can line up in any order on your left-hand side of the council chambers. The order in which the names are called is randomly generated. Thank you.
Thank you, Pumpkinhead.
I will begin by calling the following names: Kaylee Ortega, Nancy Villanueva, Christina Boyer, Tomasa Martinez, Eloisa Galindo, and Siba.
Siba? All right, let me go on here and we'll do the zoom so we can see him a little better. clarity. I think that's good. It's better than the shot they give you. I know I got to flip-flop it back and forth, but I think it's better to see them up a little closer than it is to be so far back.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Speaking in general public comment.
Okay. And if you'd like, you can adjust the microphone as you see fit. You have 1 minute for general. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Kaylee, and I'm with Inner City Struggle as a young adult leader and
Inner
renter
City
from District
Struggle.
14. It is time to reform LARSO and cap the rent at 3%. I specifically want to call on Council President Harris Dawson to champion your working class constituents by prioritizing LARSO. With the end of the year approaching and many council recess in the near future, it is imperative that LARSO is agendized in full council immediately after being passed out of housing and homelessness, which we hope to happen next week. Right now, renter constituents across your district and the city are drowning under high rents, ICE rates, and losing income. Both of my parents struggle to pay rent already, so we cannot afford another rent increase. We cannot wait until next year for this update to be passed. We also invite council members Nazarian, Mike Oscar, and Yaroslavsky to commit your support to class LARSO platform, cap rent and 3%. Please keep in mind the working class. Thank you.
And thank you for the speech, the written speech for you.
Next speaker.
Or the script. Sorry. The script.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Good morning. General public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Thank you. Hello, Christina Boyer here from Public Council and Keep LA Housed, here again to talk about LARSO. I want to impress upon the importance of getting this done as soon as possible. Most people are on a February rent increase schedule because that's when the COVID protection sunsetted. So if we have any shot at all for those tenants getting a fair rent increase, we have to act immediately. Agendize this in housing and homelessness, and please agendize it as soon as possible after in full council. I want to say how this will be the single most effective, cost-neutral method to combat homelessness. I want to also point out we have all been showing up for almost 2 years because this is dire to our communities. Even Beacon Economics, commissioned by the California Apartment Association, say that the annual rent increase adjustment isn't the main source of their profits, it's vacancy decontrol. This won't negatively affect development nor small landlords. We are in community with them. Please do right by your constituents. Adopt the Keep LA Housed recommendations. Thank you.
Thank you, token white liberal. Thank you. How many token white liberals do they have? Thank you, DEI hire.
Which items would you like to speak to?
Good morning. Items 13.
Oh, Robit.
All items, and then general public comment.
Okay, so you
Robit
have
lady.
3 minutes for the
Robot
items
dog
and 1 minute
lady.
for general. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
Item 13 is for another worthless 90-day homeless feasibility study. This sounds like one of the countless so-called feasibility studies Ramen has introduced. Ramen has done absolutely nothing on her time on the Sleazy Council along with Padilla, and is another Ramen-type worthless motion. But to suggest feasibility studies and sit there shuffling papers, collecting their $25,000 per month while homelessness rages on year after year after year.
Yep.
The fact is that these incompetent clowns like Ramen and Padilla don't have any homeless or any other type of solutions, and their feasibility study of item 13 is just more clown show activity.
There she is.
Just like the 40 people standing around doing nothing in this chamber of homeless horrors 4 hours per day, 3 days a week. In my opinion, item 13 should include funding that will produce a feasibility study due in 90 days as to why homeless funds are being siphoned off to fund the over 40 people standing around in the chamber of incompetent homeless horrors, doing absolutely nothing 4 hours a day, 3 days per week.
Yep.
Item 14 is another worthless item for a political appointment to the ULA Oversight Committee. Another political appointment that will produce absolutely nothing but the continued raging homelessness of tens of thousands of people dying slowly on our streets daily. These homeless political appointments are just the best their clowns can do versus competently increasing the commerce and jobs of the city to increase productive prosperity. Instead, we have the incompetent Dawson Sleazy Council of Corruption sitting there voting on political appointments in order to direct the ULA homeless funds to their political friends and to themselves versus to the people of LA. I demand a no vote from this worthless sleazy council on this worthless item ULA funds appointment item. There are no meaningful items on this agenda because these clowns bankrupt the city by giving LAPD $1 billion budget increase. Take the money back, clowns. These items should receive a no vote if out on bail, 12-count indicted and on trial embezzling polygamous criminal Curran Price is allowed to vote on his wife's business with the city. General public comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
Public, when you fire clowns, you get a circus. Because these clowns bankrupt the city, giving $1 billion increase to LAPD. The clowns won't take the money back because LAPD makes tremendous campaign contributions to Sleazy Dawson, Monica Lewinsky-Rodriguez, and racist Asian John Lee. $1 billion budget emergency, tens of thousands homeless epidemic emergency, $275 billion fire damage emergency. Sleazy D, CD8 has the highest incarceration rate, homeless rate, unemployment rate in the entire country, over 12.5%. CD8 is a food desert. Sleazy D has spent over $10 million on luxury offices for himself while tens of thousands are homeless. I formally protest these presentations, the mass incompetence of these clowns, and I demand Sleazy D's resignation. I demand an apology from Dimwit Nithya Raman and, okay.
We love you, robot dog lady. I love her.
Before the next speaker begins, I would like to call up Laura, Irma Cervantes, Alicia Godinez, Susan Price, Smoking Scan, and Adam Smith.
Hey, that's one. I don't care. I don't care who says
Which
it.
items would
That's
you like
one.
to speak to?
Buenos días. Mi nombre
That's
es Eloisa Galindo. Quiero hablar sobre el
Doesn't matter
punto
who says
5
it.
y comentario público. Por favor.
Hello, my name is Eloisa Galindo, and I would like to talk about item number 5 and also general public comment.
Okay, so item number 5 is not open for public comment, but you can speak to it during general. So you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Puede hablar sobre esto en general, entonces tiene 1 minuto para comentario general.
I know, right, Base?
Hoy estoy aquí para apoyar el punto 5.
I am here today in support of item 5
para programas y ayudas legales para inquilinos.
for programs and legal assistance for renters.
También estoy aquí para apoyar a Larso.
I am also here to support LARSO.
Es tiempo
It's time
que Nazarín, Tin,
It's time for Nazarian, for
Katis.
Tim, Kathy,
hagan algo por un control de renta.
it's time for them to do something about rent control.
Y especialmente al Harris,
And especially Harris.
que se ponga a trabajar por la gente trabajadora.
It's time for you to work for the working class.
Yo les voy a contar algo. ¿Ustedes han escuchado a los líderes religiosos?
I'm going to tell you something. You guys were here listening to these religious leaders.
Cuando un día fuimos a una acción con ACE, estaban 3 millonarios, billonarios que casi son dueños de Los Ángeles.
One time when we were doing some action for ACE, we saw like 3-4 billionaires that are basically now the owners of Los Angeles.
Uno de ellos sabían que también la educación pública está en peligro.
One of them knew that even public education was in danger.
Está coludido con Asociación de Charter de California.
And he is colluding with the Charter Association of California.
I find it really funny that
Creo que los líderes religiosos
you want
Your time has expired. We have to move on to
you
the
want
next speaker.
raise after raise after raise. You just want your money to keep going up, right? Not contributing any more than you already have. And yet you want to control other people and cap them.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Larso.
El punto número 5 y comentario
Thank you for the
público.
script, ma'am. Thank you
5
for the
in general
script.
public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general
You
public
read
comment.
it well.
Go ahead.
Estoy en apoyo al punto número 5 y les pido a ustedes
About
que
it.
también lo hagan.
Yeah, I'm here to support item number 5, and I'm trying to ask you to do the same.
Los inquilinos que están siendo desalojados van a necesitar apoyo de abogados, protección para ellos
Freedom Scoop.
en toda la ciudad de Los Ángeles.
The renters that are being evicted are going to need legal representation to protect them in all of Los Angeles.
Mi nombre es Tomasa Martínez.
My name is Tomasa Martinez.
Soy miembro de ACE.
I am a member of ACE.
Vivo en el Distrito 14, en Boyle Heights.
I live in District 14 in Boyle Heights.
Y soy miembro del concilio vecinal de mi comunidad.
I am a member of the neighborhood council of my community.
Ya lo dijo el padre que se acaba de ir. Ustedes no son Dios, ni son dioses. Pónganse a trabajar, por favor. El pueblo los puso aquí. Hagan algo. Hagan algo por la gente que se está quedando en la calle. Yo tengo miedo de quedarme en la calle porque me suban la renta, porque me corren donde vivo, ya que llevo 15 años ahí.
Do something about this. Just like the father said, you guys aren't gods. You guys are here because the people put you here. So do something, because people are going to end up on the street. I am at risk of being on the street, even though I've been here for 15 years.
Ahorita estoy en tratamiento psicológico debido al acoso que he vivido en mi departamento.
Right now I'm getting psychological therapy due to the harassment that I had to live through while living in my apartment.
Le llamo específicamente al presidente del consejo, señor Harris Dawson.
I'm calling specifically on the president of the council, Mr. Harris Dawson,
para que sea un campeón de la clase trabajadora de su distrito y dé prioridad al alzo con el fin de año acercándose y muchos recesos del consejo en el porvenir.
I'm asking you to be a champion for the working class people. I am asking you to please implement this for LARSO, which is coming up, and to do this by the end of the year, given that we are going to face many pauses and recess.
Many pauses
Speaker,
and
your
recess.
time has expired.
They know how you work.
Por ahora se le acabó su tiempo.
They know how you work. Recess after recess, lunchtime after lunchtime.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
General public comment, please.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Thank you. Today I'm talking about the infiltration and corruption of the city by Scientology and the Scientology's illegal tactics and policies regarding the safe pointing of the city, of the members of the city. Last time I was here, as part of my comment, I distributed books to specific people who I hope you had. Somebody here, I hope one of you read that book, Child X. This is literally evidence of children from the beginning of Scientology here in Los Angeles, like myself, born and raised in a slave trafficking cult organization, hiding behind a religious status. So here you want to have a right and a rule for all religions to be protected, while Scientology is literally trafficking children under the city's eyes through permits. Kirsten Peterson, Kendrick Moxon, Jennifer Corson, Janet Whelan on the CPAPS board. These are whole infiltrated Scientologists.
Speaker, your time has expired.
Dang.
Speaker.
Oh, dang. Sheesh. Got him there.
Smoke.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
4, 5, 6, and general comment.
Okay, so 4, 5, and 6 are not open for public comment because we took public comment and satisfied it at committee.
Of course
but
you did.
You can speak to them during general. So 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
Well, in that case, 12 and well, after 12, what, 13?
So the items that are open for public comment are, and this is for everyone in the room. So the items that are open for public comment are items 13 through 22. I would note that items 15 through 22 are REAP items.
Okay, all of those except for 8.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the
And
items
public
and 1
comment.
minute for general. Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, I didn't say my name. My name is Susan Price.
I thought you were smoking, Scan.
Life expectancy for the unhoused is 48. Is 48 years, compared to 78 years for the housed. 60% greater than the poor that are housed. I know that every single one of you are horrified, absolutely shocked and dismayed that with disgust that genocide has become a matter of fact. Tell me, do you realize that it's happening in the U.S.? Streets of LA County every day. The largest county in the U.S., 4,558 square miles. Okay, let's look at that vacant space where people could live. The city owns outright some of it, could obtain more. CRE, our commercial real estate, is showing a significant downward trend. The highest vacancy rate in decades. That condition says conversion to housing, and it is the cheapest, fastest way. And the governor signed SB 79. That's a match. Alliance v. LA, encampment reduction, housing, the unhoused must be moved off the streets to shelter or housing. That's as fast and cheap as possible. Like interim housing, okay? Not overnight shelter. Permanent supportive housing that leads to social housing and homeownership.
You've spoken on items 13 and 14, but the remainder of the items are REAP items. That's rent escrow account program items. So if you'd like to, you can speak to the REAP items. If not, I'm going to move you to general public comment, where you still have 1 minute.
Okay. The pressure is on. Stop the genocide in LA.
Next speaker.
Hello. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Is one open still or no?
Oh, the items that are open for public comment are 13 through 22.
You guys make so many changes. Okay, well, I'll take all of those plus public comment, please.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
Okay, well, the first one is anything that Mr. Lee has put up. Like, sometimes I agree with him, but I'm going to say vote no because he owes me an apology, and he should know how to be polite by now. He's had plenty of opportunity to do the right thing, so we're still waiting. Then the one about the gentleman who is being appointed for the housing committee or housing commission. I just want him to know one thing. Well, I want him to know a lot of things. But one thing I really want the city to do is find a way to do a certain loophole in the law, okay? Like, I don't know if any of you have ever heard of Serge Oblensky. He is somebody who, at 19, he played with some fireworks and blew off his hands and his eye while he was a Sea Org member with Scientology. So you would expect a certain religion or a church, whatever, to have compassion on him.
Speaker, I'm not seeing how this is connected to item 14.
I want to educate Mr. Sia, if he's here, on something that needs to be done, because this person, I'll get to it real quick. He became unhoused because he was kicked out for being injured, because now he's a degraded being. You're not a degraded being because you're injured or you have a disability, but they believe so. So how do people get kicked out with $500 because now you're disabled, and now he became homeless for 10 years on the streets of Hollywood, on Hollywood Boulevard.
Okay, you've exhausted your 1 minute on item 14.
Okay, so you think you think he got the message? Same thing with all the different REAP houses or whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of housing. Like, these houses could be turned in for people like Mr. Oblensky, because like I said, he ended up on the streets, okay, with $500 and no arms and missing an eye, and couldn't fend for himself. Okay, so the city could turn into these houses, right, as you're getting them off escrow or whatever, right, and turn it into housing for people who are tossed to the curb. It's not just Scientology. I'm sure there's other agencies, but this is the only one that I know of. They, like if it was today, it would be like Kirsten Peterson and Kendrick Moxon approving all of this, and it's not right. And so, I could go through all the REAP ones, right? So the next house, I would say too, you can really help. Oh, can I ask a question about the council? Am I allowed to speak on the group that spoke, the religious group, or is that not allowed?
So you can speak to that during general public comment if you'd
No,
like.
I don't want to. I want to see if I could do it as part of my, because they were up here. They're just not on the agenda, but you had them in front
Ask
of
that
you.
you stick to the items or move to general public comment.
Okay, well, I think I should be able to talk to them, but if not, I want to know if smoke and scan things that we should be able to talk about. That they were
Moving
here.
to general public comment, you have 1 minute. Go
Okay.
ahead.
All right. Okay. I'm here to say I went to the Faith in Blue event, okay, with Laura on Saturday. And it was at Hollywood Presbyterian, and it was a LA County Clergy Association. Well, no, it really wasn't. It was apparently a Scientology event. And when we just walked into the event, didn't do anything or anything. We weren't planning on doing anything. We were just there to enjoy it, even though we knew Scientology was there. But here they ran it. They told the police to kick us out because they didn't want us there. And guess what? We were kicked out for viewpoint discrimination because we are critics. And mind you, she was born and raised in this. And the city's being held, they are opening themselves up to liability because you cannot kick people out of an event when they haven't done anything. I wasn't trespassed. We're not trespassed, and it was a public event. And we were kicked. I mean, the supervisor in LAPD and Hollywood Division fixed it. We came in and had a lovely day. But you guys, by allowing all this, you are leaving yourselves liable to a lawsuit.
Next speaker.
Shout out to LA.
Before
Hopefully
the
they
next
get
speaker
sued.
begins, I would like to call up Amparo Ibarra, Aida Rivera, Elizabeth Garcia, Flora Estrada, Duarte Shrimp, Marcus Smart, and Cash Patel.
Duarte Shrimp and Cash
Good morning.
Patel.
Which items would you like to speak to?
Cash Patel.
Buenos días.
Googly
A
eyes.
todos. Voy a ocupar interpretación, por favor.
Good morning, everyone. I am going to need interpretation, please.
Vengo a dar comentario público general.
I'm here to give general public comment.
Mi nombre es Irma Cervantes
My name is
y
Irma
soy miembro de
Cervantes.
Inner City Struggle.
And I'm
Soy
a
inquilina
member-
del
Why is
este
it
de
so
Los
loud in
Ángeles y
there?
miembro comunitaria del Distrito 14.
I'm a member of Inner City Struggle. I live in East LA, and I am part of. Perdón, señora, ¿se podría repetir?
Es hora de reformar Larso
It's time
y limitar
to
la
reform
renta al
Larso
3%.
and limit rent to 3%.
Le llamo específicamente al presidente del Consejo, señor Harris Dawson, para que sea un campeón de la clase trabajadora y dé prioridad al Larso.
I'm calling specifically on President Harris Dawson to be a champion for working class people and to make Larso a priority.
Pedimos que agendice Larso lo más pronto posible, después de que salga del Comité de Vivienda.
We are asking for Larso to be agendized as soon as possible after leaving the Housing and Homelessness Committee.
También invitamos a los concejales Nazarian, McCosker y Yarolavsky que se comprometan a apoyar la fórmula de Larso.
We are also asking for council members McCosker, Yaroslavsky, and Nazarian to agree to support it.
También me gustaría entregar estas cartas que contienen las prioridades que tenemos Keep LA House y más información sobre la fórmula y el por qué es importante que la apoyen. Muchas gracias por su atención.
I would also like to hand out this information from Keep LA House that speaks about why this is so important.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Why this is so important. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Buenos días, good
Thank you very
morning.
much.
Comentario general, público.
Good morning, general public comment.
So you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Tiene un
Mi
minuto
nombre es
adelante.
Alicia Godínez y soy miembro de Inner City Struggle y vengo a dar mi comentario para actualizar el Larso
¿Me
y no
permite?
más renta del 3%.
¿Me permite?
Sí.
My name is Alicia Godinez. I'm a member of Inner City Struggle, and I would like for Larso
Thank you,
to
Jay,
be
for
updated
gifting
and
the
to
2
cap the
subs.
rent at 3%. Adelante.
También invitamos
Garlic
a los
and Clee.
concejales Nazarian,
Courtesy of Jay.
McKenzer y Jarowski a que se comprometan a apoyar la plataforma del Larso. Agradecemos también su trabajo y ahora también es momento de actuar
¿Me
porque no
permite?
queremos más inquilinos desalojados. Por favor.
Mr.
I am
Herman's
also calling on
coming up.
Nazarian, McCosker, and Yaroslavsky to support this because we don't need any more renters ending up evicted on the streets.
Debido a los altos costos de salud, desalojos y del ICE, no quiero ser un número más que quede desalojada.
due to the rising cost of healthcare, rent, and also what's happening with ICE. I don't want to just be another renter that ends up on the street.
Agradezco mucho su atención y espero que no haya un aumento más del 3% y apoyen al Larso, por favor, y gracias.
Thank you so much. I hope that you cap it at 3% and please support Larso. Thank you so much.
Pinche Larso.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Good morning. My name is Amparo, and I'm here with ACE. And
Boy, they rolled them all out, didn't they?
And I would like to make general public comment.
Okay. So
Number 5.
So you have 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
And Article 5. It's time to reform the Larson cap and rent to the 3%, especially want to call on Council President to the champion your working class and cap the rent at a 3%.
Man, how do you exploit this lady like that?
And strongly
This is what you do? You put a shirt on her and roll her in here like that? You should be ashamed of yourself. Just like when they rolled out old stupid Joe.
Item 5, to restore by funding
Disgusting.
to the State
Disgusting.
House LA program with existing 7-month contract ending
Okay,
in
so-
January.
Speaker, your time has expired. We have to move on to the next
How are
speaker.
you gonna do that to that lady
I'm going to make one quick announcement. If I could have the interpreters sort of
Fucking
synthesize
bullshit.
it and make it allowed to the room. So we have to give everyone an equal amount of time. A couple things to
You
note.
said this earlier.
If you would like
You're
to provide
eating our
additional
time up.
written
Shut the
public comment,
fuck
you
up.
can do so at
Goddamn
lacouncilcomment.com.
basketball head, shut up.
Si le
Times
tenemos
you
que
have to
dar
say it.
tiempo
You're a fucking
igual
lawyer.
a todos,
We
la misma
understand.
cantidad de
You
tiempo
should
para hablar a
understand.
todos, pero si se le acaba su tiempo
You
y
passed
quiere
the
dar
bar.
comentario
We get it.
público en escrito,
Shut
lo
the
puede
fuck
hacer
up.
en lacouncilcomment.com.
And if you require a foreign language interpreter,
Yeah,
if you
it's
let
sad
us
that they
know
do
ahead
that
of
to that
time,
woman.
we will do our best to accommodate.
Y si requiere un
Exploiting
intérprete
that
para
lady.
otro idioma, nos pueden dejar saber con adelante y ahí con adelanto y le podemos proporcionar eso.
And if you are would like to request additional accommodations due to a disability, you can let us know as well. Thank you.
Y si quieren solicitar acomodaciones adicional debido a una discapacidad lo pueden solicitar también.
ain't done
Muchas
anything
gracias.
yet, Dr. Remulak.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Nothing yet.
For the record, I signed up as Marcus Smart. I would like to
Basketball
address
player.
all items and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for
Marcus
general. Go
Smart,
ahead.
the basketball player.
So, Morning Groat, I'd like to do that thing where I
Like a
ask you
Lakers shirt.
rhetorical questions that I know you're not at liberty to respond to, even if the Brown Act weren't applying. Why is it that we're looking at item number 14 on this agenda? No knock on this particular appointee, but back in June, this council voted on this exact appointee for this exact term running through 2030. Why has the mayor reappointed them? Why are we having a second vote 4 months later? The only difference I see here is this individual has now finally submitted their required ethics disclosures. Thanks to Councilmember Rodriguez and the voters of Los Angeles, our charter was amended last fall to require these filings before the council votes on these appointees. Yet for some reason, until last month, y'all just ignored that. You rubber-stamped appointees regardless of whether or not they followed the charter. This appointment is just one of many that we're now seeing come your way from the mayor. What does it say that 14 out of our 15 council members are willing to rubber stamp appointees who violate our charter? I know you're all scared of the gruesome twosome and Marquise and Karen, but come on. Come on. I know you all love to wait until the last minute to take things seriously, but you do need to wake up. Our city is broke and broken, and the people running it into the ground are trying and succeeding in rat-fucking the Charter Reform Commission that's been set up to help you. What?
So, which item are you speaking to?
REAP.
Okay. I'm going to ask you to speak to the REAP items, or you can continue in general if you'd like.
I'm just kidding. I'll go to general.
Okay. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
I don't know if you read the LAist article last week about the Charter Reform Commission. There are a lot of things I try to set up. That wasn't me. That was the commissioners. They got that in there because they are sick and fucking tired of this. This council required that Charter Reform Commission to provide an outreach plan that this council could give feedback on and that they would have a meeting in every single district. That outreach plan was provided 2.5 months ago, and the council president has yet to bring it to the full council so you can all talk about it. That document is now irrelevant because a bunch of the commission meetings have been converted to committee meetings. What does that mean? We'll be in CD7 this weekend, but only 3 of the commissioners will be there. Same applies to CD1, CD3, CD9. What do we see with all those districts? What's the difference between that district and Tracy's district, Nithia's, Tim's, John's? We say that poorer districts, the Latino districts, don't get the full fucking commission in front of them. Karen Bass appointed the least qualified executive director imaginable. Y'all need to step up.
Speaker, your time is
Love you,
expired.
Rob
Next
Kwan.
speaker.
Dude, smart as fuck. Get up in your ass. Not one not one not one snort. Like him or
Good
not.
morning. You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general
Your
public
discretion
comment.
is
Go ahead.
advised.
Buenos días, pinche abogado baboso.
Please
Good
don't.
morning.
fucking
Please pause
lawyer.
this time for a second. I'm sorry. I'll let you continue in just a second. Mr. Spindler, I know he's your friend. That doesn't give you the right to disrupt his time. So do not disrupt public comment. This is your first and only formal
Don't
warning.
get
If you do it
kicked out,
again,
dog.
you may be subject to exclusion and removal.
Now,
pursuant to
let me
Rule
hear the
7 and Rule 12.
translation.
Go ahead.
Good morning, stupid fucking lawyer.
Gracias, pinche baboso. Esta junta de mendigos. Now to translate into Google. Google. Smoke and scan, you got it? Good.
Yep.
Who is this Charlie Sia? And why is it taking 4 months and a second vote by this fucked up charter for filing your fucked up rubber asshole stamp to this appointee? Why is that? Does anybody know? How about you, FBI? Are you listening, Cash Patel, what these people are doing to Los Angeles? Where's Donald J. Trump?
So this is your last opportunity. I need you to stick to the items, or I'm going to move you to general public comment.
Well, sir, I'm on housing. And like I said, I'll put it in English. Fucking housing and homelessness, landlord fucking notice for your fucking assigning to the Los Angeles fucking housing department, you fucking cabron puto, to enforce your fucking staff, you fucking asshole, idiot, moron, stupid, incoherent fool, that the housing providers are here to assist me to navigate, you asshole, to understand that Padilla, who is Padilla? That's her. Am I right? And what about the Juju that's not in her seat? Where's she at? Because this is to direct you about the LAHD fucking report, you fucking moron, idiot, stupid, incoherent, jackass.
So you're welcome to insult me, but
The
at this point it is
feasibilities.
repetitive, which is not allowed under the Brown
I'm
Act.
getting
So stick
to the
the items.
feasibilities, jackass. Let me finish my
And you've
point.
exhausted your 1 minute on item 13. So please move on to another
All
item.
right, escrow asshole. How about those 4 points? Where's current price, you jackass?
On the agenda.
Yes, he is. There are 2 items on the escrow in District 9.
So speak to the escrow.
I'm speaking to the absentee councilman who faked his sickness.
Okay, I'm going to move you to general public comment. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Now into my non-agenda public comment. Going back to the N and C word, everybody. Hey, smoke and scan, figure this out. In Watts, off 103rd, there's a community there in the ghetto called Nickerson Garden.
There is. project.
Why was
housing
it
project.
that I was accused of using bad language by Juju Bob, Smoke and Scan?
That's 5.
Why, Bob, did that idiot McCocker, who's a cocksucker, run up there and tell that big fat head, pumpkin head, that I was saying something totally irrelevant to my constitutional civil rights of protection of my free speech? Because again, audience of Compton and Dominguez Hills, that fat piece of shit attorney up there under bar license 317-217 is a stupid jackass, a dirty motherfucker, and as Brandon
And your
Burke
time
says,
is expired. Do not disrupt this meeting. I will remind you as a courtesy that you are still on probation.
Still on double secret probation. Listen to the donkey. Shout out to Mr. Herman. Thank you, Mr. Herman,
Which
for the
items
shout
would you
out.
like to speak to?
Staging Mr. Herman.
Quiero hacer comentario público, necesito traducción.
You're from
General
ASE?
public comment. Any
Y
translation?
I gotta say,
And item number
it makes
5.
my day
so you
to
have
hear
1 minute for general
Mr.
public
Herman's
comment. Go ahead.
Spanish being
Okay.
translated by the
Mi nombre es
translator. It
Aida
makes my
Araceli
day.
Rivera.
Not gonna lie.
Pertenezco a la organización ACE y soy inquilino, pequeño propietario del Distrito 9.
Yes, my name is Aida Araceli Rivera. I am a member of
Makes
ACE,
my day.
and I am a small landlord in my district.
You're a landlord. You're
Es
the
hora de
devil.
reformar Larso y limitar la renta
Better
al 3%.
cap your rent.
It's time to reform LARSO and to limit the rent to 3%.
Le llamo específicamente al
landlord, and
presidente
you
del
don't speak
Consejo,
English? I love
señor
it.
Harris Dawson,
I'm calling specifically on the
Holy
president of the council, Mr. Harris Dawson,
para que sea un campeón de la clase trabajadora de su distrito y de prioridad a Larso.
to be a champion for the working class of his district and to make LARSO work.
Con el fin del año acercándose y muchos recesos del Consejo en el porvenir, es sumamente importante que Larso se incluya en la agenda.
With the end of the year approaching and many council recesses approaching as well, it's important for him to give priority to LARSO.
They know how you
Del
work.
Consejo, el Pleno
Thanksgiving,
inmediatamente
Hanukkah,
después de
Christmas,
ser aprobada
New
por el
Year's.
Comité
There's
de
4.
Vivienda.
For this to be
Halloween.
approved after being, for this to be put agendized on the city
Thank you,
council after
Base.
being approved by the Housing and Homelessness Committee.
También invitamos a los concejales Distrito 2, Distrito 15 y Distrito 5
Do it, Pace.
que se comprometan a apoyar la plataforma XLAH Larso. Agradecemos haber trabajado con sus oficinas en este asunto y ahora es el momento de actuar. Gracias.
We also invite the members from, the councilors from the districts 2, 15, and 5 to approve XLAH LARSO. We have been grateful to work with you for these, for this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. Which items would you like to
I
speak
need the
to?
little latke hit when he
Buenos
says
días,
that.
quiero hacer un comentario público en el artículo 5.
Public comment for
Okay,
5.
so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Tiene un minuto, adelante.
Gracias, mi nombre es Dominga Solórzano y soy miembro de ACE.
Yes, hello, my name is Dominga Solorzano, member of ACE.
Es hora de reformar a Larso. Le llamo específicamente al presidente del Consejo, señor Harris Dawson, para que sea un campeón de la clase trabajadora de su distrito y de prioridad.
It's a normal
Larso.
day, Brenda.
Yeah, it's time to reform LARSO. I'm calling on the president of the council, Mr. Harris Dawson, to be a champion for the working class people and to prioritize LARSO.
And as soon as they cap
Con
the
el
rent,
fin
they're going to
de
go in and cap
años
your
acercándose
food
y
and cap
muchos
everything for you.
Recesos del Consejo en el porvenir es sumamente
You know what they won't
importante
cap?
que Larso
The raises to these people.
se incluya en la agenda del Consejo el Pleno inmediatamente después de ser aprobada por el Comité de Vivienda.
With the end of the year approaching and plenty of council recesses approaching as well, it's important for LARSO to be on the agenda and for it to be put in the city council agenda forthwith immediately after being approved by the Housing and Homelessness Committee.
I didn't even notice he's orange for Halloween. Very
29 de
festive.
octubre en este.
The
Thank you.
29th of October, thank you.
Before the next speaker begins, I would like to call up the last two speakers for today,
stand by.
Victoria Enriquez and Tyler Robinson.
Good morning. You have 3 minutes for the
Oh,
items
the
and
goddamn
1
Holy
minute for
shit.
general. Go
Who
ahead.
signed up as Tyler
So let's
Robinson?
see here.
Viewer discretion.
We have number 14, Charlie Kirksia, to the United House Citizens Oversight Committee. What the fuck is he doing? You got 3 men and 11 ladies out of 14 people. Where's the goddamn man? Is that what it is? You have United the House. You're not allowed to have a penis to serve on this committee. Is that what it is? Is this the DEI dick? Is that what it is? How come there's so many goddamn women? 11 to 3 in the goddamn commission. I don't understand that. I thought this council was about equality. That's what Imelda keeps telling me every day.
Too much pussy.
Every fucking
Too much
day.
pussy.
Then we get number 15, Nazarian, on a rent escrow account on West Riverside Drive. He's going to allow the landlord to get fucking paid. Let's give him a hand. Okay, good. Right on. And another one. He emancipated another one. This is on North Limp Avenue. That's a fucking nice area. So next time, when you're paying $3,000 a month rent and you see rats in your bathroom, call Jacoby and Myers. Jacoby and Myers. Isn't it about time? And then you have, let me see, CD3. Well, that's Blob Blobenblel, the evil Jew. So he's over there getting West Roscoe. Oh, that's a shithole. Look at this, 19962 West Roscoe. That is a dirty, filthy, shitty street. You should pay people to live in that fucking shithole. So let's see, CD9, the 12-time indicted council member Curd Price. Look at that. Wow. Holy shit! He's got 12 felony charges. He goes back to court November the 3rd, and he's still getting paid.
12.
I love this guy.
Speaker, this is your only warning. Please stick to the agenda
12.
items. Or I'm going to move to general
Felonies.
public comment.
12 for Grady.
What the fuck does number 18 say?
12.
Fucking CD fucking 9. And who the fuck
So then
runs
speak to the
CD9?
item, or you can speak to this during
Grady,
general.
you finna die
Who
in
the
jail,
fuck
dog.
runs CD9? Curran DeMille Price, the people versus. And who gets to decide who gets paid off on the item? Curran DeMille Price Jr. That's why it's on topic, Blob. Will you tell your lawyer to stop interrupting? And then we get number CD 15, number 19. Well, that's the bucket head. Then we get another one on 20. They fooled everybody. Again, number 20, the 12-time felony indicted council member Curran Price. He's got another one here, and let's see, how much did 635 East
General
29th
public comment.
Street have to pay him off? So let's see here. You can't talk at the fucking meeting without this fucking lawyer interrupting you. You can't use the N-word. You can't use the C-word. You get banned from one meeting. You get kicked out 2 days meetings. When is the federal court going to step in with the injunction? When? When will this council be enjoined by a federal district judge? And when will this criminal lawyer up here be taken in front of the state bar and suspended pending an investigation? When? When the fuck are you going to do your jobs? Are you just going to sit here and let a poor, innocent little goat herder like myself sit here and be violated like this? Is that what it is? And finally, thank you, Imelda, for not wiping your nose all day. I'm glad you're getting that.
Speaker, your time has expired. Next speaker.
Schindler, do you want to move on to the items or general public comment?
What do you want to do?
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Hello, item 5 and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
My name is Flor Estrada. I am an organizer with ACE, and I want to say to CD 9, CD8, and CD10. I've been door knocking, and I've been hearing the number one issue for renters is their rent. If they're worried, there's a state of emergency,
Rent
they're
burden.
scared to come out to work. So I want to invite you, council members, or your staff to come door knocking with us so that you can hear it directly from your constituents that it is a state of emergency at this point. So please put this on the agenda. ACE members and ACE will always be here every chance we get, and we will get public comment so that you guys can put this on the agenda and realize that this is a big issue for renters in LA. I also, from door knocking experience, State House LA's program, we need you to fund it and to keep it alive because this helps so many renters
No solicitors.
in LA. I cede my time.
Door knocking. That's going to get it done. Another one from Ase. I want an Ace shirt.
Good morning.
Like the rest of the
Item would
shills.
you like to speak to?
Público en general, hablar en el punto 5. Mi nombre es Victoria Enríquez, pertenezco a la organización
Okay,
ACE.
so you'll have 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
Soy inquilino en hora del... Es ahora el formar Larson y limitar la renta el 3%.
Hello, yes, my name is Victoria Enriquez. I am a
Can't
member
even
of
read in
ACE.
Spanish,
I am a
ma'am.
renter. The time to
Jesus
reform
Christ.
Larso is right now to limit the rent to 3%.
Le llamo específicamente al presidente del consejo, señor Harry Jackson, para que sea un campeón de la clase trabajadora de su distrito y de prioridad a Larson con el fin de año.
Yeah, I am calling on the president of the council, Mr. Harris Dawson, to be a champion for the working class people of his district and to prioritize Larso.
Se incluya en la agenda consejo el pleno inmediatamente después de ser aprobada por el Comité de Vivienda.
And to have it be placed immediately on the council agenda right after having been approved by the Housing and Homelessness Committee.
Speaker, your time has
Ma'am,
expired.
I get it.
Por ahora
If I
se le
don't help
aplauso
pay
tiempo.
for your bills, I'm a bigot. I got it. We got it.
Does that conclude our speakers for this morning's meeting? So, Madam Clerk, what items are before us?
Mr. President, council may now vote on items 14 through 22, sir.
All right, let's open the roll on those items, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
She's whispering to herself. She's reading the script.
13. All right, what's next?
And the last item is item 13, and that was a Homeless and Housing Committee report as amended by
reading the
motion
script to
Nazarian
herself.
Yaroslavsky.
Like skimming through it.
All right.
She doesn't
Let's
understand.
open the roll on
'cause
that
she
item.
didn't proofread the
Close the
script
roll,
that was
tabulate
given
the
to
vote.
her. I'm sure they're all written and
13
handed
ayes.
out. Here's your shirt. Here's your script. Just read.
All right, sir, come on up, quickly, stop disrupting the meeting and come on up to the thing.
Got another guy who was picked and didn't get to talk.
Podium.
What a shocker.
You have 1 minute to speak.
1 minute.
Not let the brother speak.
John Parker from the Harriet Tubman Center and on the steering committee of the Community
And
Self-Defense
he's from the
Coalition.
Harriet
I just want
Tubman
to ask
Committee.
a question. Why is it that Los Angeles has a sister city in Israel? A genocidal city. And it's not just any city, it's a city that facilitates the military terror and Holocaust that's going on against the Palestinian people right now. So why does LA City have a relationship with them? There's many
Old Tyler
Holocausts
Robinson
going
here.
on in the global South and the one that we know so well in Germany. And people are saying now, why didn't you do something? Why didn't you try to stop a Holocaust? And the genocide is still going on, even though there's a supposed ceasefire. People are still starving to death, dying of health things. So you can sit there and do nothing, or you can put a resolution to say stop the city thing.
All right.
Thing.
Thank you. All right,
Stop
Madam
the
Clerk,
city
what's before us?
Council has motions are posted and referred.
Remember, he's
They're
oppressed.
posted and referred.
The desk is clear, sir.
All right, with a clear desk, I'll ask
Fuck.
if there are any announcements, members. Any announcements? Council District 11, Councilmember Park.
Base, thank you so much,
a
Base.
couple of announcements today. One really exciting one I want to start with is a project that is a true collaboration between
Is that
Council
fucking
District
Hernandez's
5,
man?
Council
They should
District
get together.
11,
If they ain't dating,
and the Department of Cultural Affairs, whose
they'd have some
partnership
interesting
and
kids.
leadership has made this possible.
That homie and
DCA
fucking
really
hamburger.
helped guide this process and make sure that
Bro.
art continues in the public spaces that connect our communities. So it is my honor today to get to introduce the artist that was selected to create the new Mar Vista Gateway mural, which is a vibrant new welcome point that will greet everyone traveling along Venice Boulevard near the 405, right on the border between CD11 and CD5. And this was a place that prior to a massive cross-jurisdictional intervention that involved Culver City,
that give
CD5,
right there?
CD11,
Probably
Inside
not.
Safe, and the county
I mean,
was
she
the
is
site
from
of one of
Venice.
the most notorious encampments in all of Los Angeles. And now, as we complete our work and return this area fully to the community, this mural is going to serve as a placemaking icon for the Mar Vista, celebrating communal strength and restoration
probably
in the
not
wake of the
Yeah, 'cause
Palisades
he doesn't wear
fire,
glasses.
as
Can't
well as
be
a
him.
visual
Forgot.
icon to usher in the 2028 Olympics
He don't
and
wear glasses.
Paralympics.
I don't think he wears
So
glasses.
we're here this morning with Julia Fortis, an extraordinary LA-based multimedia artist and muralist whose work captures human connection, empowerment, and the shared spirit of our communities. She has completed more than 30 large-scale public murals across California and the country, transforming everyday walls into windows of imagination and belonging. Through her work, she really invites all of us to take a pause and see ourselves and our
There's
neighbors
Calvia in the corner
and our
of
city
Stinks.
in color and in motion. Her process is deeply collaborative, and she has graciously agreed to do community workshops in Mar Vista to make sure their input and their stories are being captured here. So we all know that public art does more than beautify, it actually unites, it tells a story. And I know, Julia, that in your hands, this mural is going to be a reflection of Mar Vista's creativity, its diversity, its history, and its sense of welcome for everyone that passes through. So congratulations, and thank you for sharing
Because
your
he's a
gifts
terrorist
with our
sympathizer, Suzanne.
Thank you so much. It's excellent work. Councilmember Yosowski.
You know
Thank you
this.
so much, Councilwoman Park, for your partnership and for bringing
mean,
us together today. This
You
is
do know, and you got to think he's American, but he didn't ever talk about the American hostages that were stuck over there, or the people, not Hamas, but the people of Palestine that were celebrating having these women and children and men taken in the back of trucks and then dragged through the city before being raped and killed. Didn't talk anything about that.
really exciting.
'Cause they're
I wanna
anti-American.
thank the Department of Cultural Affairs team and
Democrats
the
are
Mar Vista Community Council
anti-American.
for your really hard work and
Get it
commitment
through
to the
your
project.
heads.
Public art
This is the
reflects
party
who
of
we are as a community,
anti-Americans.
and it brings people together. It sparks
Plain and
connection
simple.
and makes
They
our
do
shared
nothing
spaces more
positive for
vibrant and
Americans.
meaningful.
Ever.
I am so excited to
Ever.
have Julia Fortis leading the Mar Vista mural.
Ever.
Your work celebrates human connection and the beauty of everyday life. Julia's murals invite people to pause and reflect and feel part of something larger, which is what art's all about. If you're unfamiliar with your work, I encourage you to go to her website, take a look. It's really remarkable stuff. I know that Julia's vision will capture the spirit of this neighborhood. I used to live in this neighborhood, so it's particularly meaningful for me and the people who make it special. So thank you to everyone who helped bring
Venice
this collaboration to
Monopoly-opoly?
life. I'm really looking forward to seeing it become part
Of course,
of
they
a
had to get the
lasting
little,
part
the
of Mar
gay,
Vista. Thank
the
you.
gay lifeguard.
Thank you so
tower
much,
there.
Councilwoman.
Thank you, thank you. We are really, really excited for this. Thank you, Julia. And
Little
in
knee bending
another
for
really
everybody.
exciting announcement, I wanted to take a moment and welcome
No guy in a
Rodrigo
MAGA hat
and
for
highlight
the
a
mural?
brand
How come?
new board game, Veniceopoly. This
God.
game is so great. It takes a colorful journey through the iconic
Holy
streets
shit.
and canals and beaches of Venice.
Venice.
It's of course inspired by
I'm
one
good.
of the most vibrant
I'm
and
good.
eclectic
I'm good on
neighborhoods in
Veniceopolis.
America. And it really lets players experience the true
Instead of go to
spirit of
jail, it's
Venice.
go straight
From
gay.
Muscle Beach and the historic
You're
Venice
now
sign
gay.
to the buzzing
Lose $200
oceanfront
bucks.
walk and
Well, I'm sorry, you're gay. Get 5,000
businesses
bucks.
included in the game are properties that were chosen because they were the oldest businesses in Venice that have kept the same names dating back to 1911.
Says a lot. This
And
is
then
a
there are really
DEI
cool,
fucking
interesting
game
historical
board.
facts on the back of
Sure.
each one of the cards.
Truly.
Almost all of the artists and photographers are Venice artists, and everything
I'd like to know
Venice
how many
is
of they sell of
represented.
these.
Bodybuilding, architecture, surfing, skateboarding, artists, writers, the beatniks from the 50s, activism, punk bands, tattoo parlors, the canals, Oakwood, Lincoln Place, historical landmarks,
got a
and
lowrider,
so
a
much
bike,
more. The tokens, also a nod
surfboard.
to Venice's unique culture. We have a surfboard, a
Skateboard,
laptop, gondola,
laptop,
bicycle,
and a
lowrider,
gondola.
and a skateboard. It took over 3 years to design, put together, secure the necessary rights, and produce the game. And best of
God.
all, 10% of every purchase goes to the Venice Heritage Museum. The museum is actually doing a launch event for the game on Saturday, November 8th. And you can go to veniceopoly.com for more information about this. We are super excited. Venice is the first neighborhood in the city of Los Angeles to get its very own Monopoly game. So thank you and congratulations. We couldn't be more excited.
All right. Any other announcements, members? All right. Seeing none, I'll ask everybody in the chamber to rise for adjourning motions.
All right. I don't care about their adjourning motions. That's it for the day. Beautiful day here in Santa Monica. It's a live shot, Santa Monica Beach. 2 jets taking off from LAX side by side. There you have it. Beautiful day after the storm. Look at that. Glistening water. Beautiful day. Sand looks still a little wet from all the water from overnight, but yeah. Well, we got something in at least. Nobody got kicked out before they spoke. It is what it is. Can't wait for like what Spindler said, the federal government to come in and start, wreaking havoc on them for all the Brown Act violations and taking away telephonic comment and all that stuff. So it'd be fantastic. Put a smile on my face, and I'm sure some of you as well. Yeah, DMC, but that was in Orange County. That's way down that coast. Way down. Ain't no helicopters landing here. Does look nice, though. It's like a nice, beautiful day on the beach. Nice, beautiful day. Well, I guess that's it for now, right, guys? I will see you guys, Friday, I guess, at 10:15. Well, Friday, and what we'll do is, obviously, I'll start a little later. On Friday, obviously, because that way we cut out. Remember, Friday's the day they do all the presentation bullshit. So they may be an hour of presentation. So I'll do what we have been doing, and I'll watch it. I won't go live, and then when they're done with all the presentation bullshit, we can then get in there and watch it together. Because I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to watch the presentations. That saves you an hour of time. I know we start an hour later, but I'm cutting all that fat out for you. Unless you want to watch that stupid shit, I mean, we can watch it, but and I know all it is straight an hour of knee bending. So, I don't know. Other than that, thank you, Brenda. It's good to see you. I will see you, of course, on Friday night, 8 p.m. Pacific time. Adjust to your time zone for our normal Friday night crime wave party. Keep the notifications on because, as you can see, it's bright and sunny now. It's dried out. So who knows? Maybe we'll get us a chase. We haven't had a chase in quite a bit. So, yeah. And it's obviously due to the rain. They're not running around chasing everybody in the rain. So, too dangerous. But thank you for all the likes, the love, the donos. I appreciate all of them. Thank you for the thumbs ups. They work and they are free. Like I said, keep the notifications on so that way, in case we get us a chase in 8 minutes from now, I'll hop back on in 8 minutes and we'll watch the chase. So that's how it works for the ones who don't know. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Hump Day is here. You're halfway through your week. I'll see you guys on Friday. On behalf of Stink Bomb and myself, we're out of here. Bye.
This party is officially over.
Yeah, you guys. I'm a king.